Today on the channel, looks like we're caught somewhere in time with the brand new NECA Ultimate Iron Maiden 2-pack.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA Ultimate unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something very cool for my heavy metal loving heart, as we got the brand new Iron Maiden 2-pack. But of course, for all your Iron Maiden needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on in-stock items. Anything over $39 currently does ship free. Your mileage may vary on that one on the shipping. They're all over the place, back and forth. But that's what was going on for the holidays, at least. And at least we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. This pack, a little bit controversial, I will say. Now, first things first, beautiful artwork. Obviously, all the Iron Maiden artwork is beautiful. But looking very nice in the pack here, but a little controversial. Of course, Future Past World Tour. I did go to this tour with good friend of the channel, Jeff George. We saw them in Minnesota last October. Very cool to get to see Nico McBrain one last time. So I'll always remember that as the last time. And that was the day after Paul Di'Anno died. And they did do the tribute to Paul at that show. So that was pretty cool as well. But this figure here, a little controversial because you got the brand new Eddie mascot of Senjutsu from their brand new album, of course, paired up with Somewhere in Time Eddie, which, let's be honest, been around for decades at this point. Everybody knows Somewhere in Time Eddie, possibly the most famous Eddie, I guess depends who you ask. So a lot of people want that Somewhere in Time. I don't know if Senjutsu really resonates at this point with the average Joe, the average fan, and even the Iron Maiden fan at this point as far as iconic Eddies for a 2-pack. However, I see what they're doing here. You throw in that Iron Maiden Somewhere in Time, makes people buy this one as well. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little dash of the other, I guess is what it is. But for me, being an Iron Maiden fan, this is a must-have pickup. I'm here for both of them, but gotta honestly say, Somewhere in Time Eddie is going to be the hit of this 2-pack. I would have to imagine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there it is. But there it is out of the package, or in the package, in the box still. Looking really cool. You got the two faces of Eddie kind of glamming together there, looking very, very nice. A very cool packaging design, of course. Iron Maiden on the side, and you got Senjutsu. Iron Maiden on the side, Somewhere in Time. On the back, the worlds come together. How cool is that? Very cool packaging design on this one. Ages 14 and up on this as well. Iron Maiden on the top, all the credits down below. But you do get the beautiful packaging with the power of Velcro. It compels us. And we unbox it. We got the glamour shots on the side, and then you got the 2-pack looking very cool in there. All the weapons, all the different stuff here for Eddie. Can't wait to dive into this and see what all the fuss is about, as we always do say. How's the background looking? So you got the background of Somewhere in Time and Senjutsu coming together. Coming together is what's going on there. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. See you later, goodbye. Yeah, that's how beautiful it was. There it is. Uh-oh, losing pieces out the package already. Oh my gosh, watch out. Plastic prison. There it is, Eddie ×2, ready to go, ready to take on the world like a young man of war, as we do know. But I'm going to take this offline, get these guys out of the package. We'll be back talking all things NECA Iron Maiden. All right, let's get down to Iron Maiden business, and let's start off with the brand new Eddie, Senjutsu Eddie. I guess we'll start. It seems like he has a little bit more stuff in here than Somewhere in Time Eddie, but let's start it off. We'll start with the hands. 2 gripping hands out of the package for this Eddie, but then you get extra hands here. Now, you do get the one throwing up the devil horns. Got that one. Have to have that one, of course. Got that. Oh, watch out for this. We got the middle finger for Eddie. You want the finger. Here's the finger. You got the middle finger hand. And then we got the come hither, I'm pointing to you, what you gonna do, brother, hand going on here. So, Senjutsu Eddie getting all the stuff in. And if you saw this tour, you did see the I guess giant, we can't call it life size, we'll call it the giant version coming out on stage like we usually see with the Iron Maiden in concert. Very, very cool, of course, on that one. Now, we do get the sword and the sheath. Got to have the sheath, of course. Got the sheath right here. Got the sword right here, and look at that, full of blood on the end there, ready to go. He's been in a battle or two, apparently. Nice ornate handle on this one, and should just slide right inside here, I would imagine. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just for show. Apparently it's just for show. Are you kidding me? What are we doing? There's a hard piece in there, so it's not going in. That's interesting. Which that, I guess, makes sense with this. What are we doing here? What are we doing exactly, NECA? So we got this. We got just the handle part with a little plug in, I would imagine. So that plugs in there. So I guess it gives you the effect. But why not have that just connected at all times? Why have a hole to make it look like we can slide it in? Well, we can't slide it in. And I usually never have that problem trying to slide it in. I usually can slip it right in there. But not today, I guess. Not today. I thought I was in the wrong hole for a second, but nope, that wasn't the case either. No, not the case. So I don't know why that is here, but if you want this to look official, I guess you plug in this extra end, which I guess we got a small one too, and I'm sure this plugs in right here. It does, so it plugs in the front little one. Now we do get the little blade with blood on it, very similar to the last one, except smaller in size. Will this fit in? Or is it the same kind of thing? It's the same kind of thing. Isn't that strange? It's very strange. You think you'd be able to put those in there. Why? I can't understand that, but once again, you put this little cover piece on there, and then it looks like it's covered, if you can get it in there. But very, very strange to me. That is a very weird way to go about business there. I don't know. I can't explain that. But then we do get another sword here. Looks like we've got a little kind of effect piece sculpted in on it here, a little purple, little flame kind of stuff there. So looking interesting. I like the weapons. I like the idea. I like the hands, but I don't understand why you can't put this in and pull that out. It feels like that should be the way it's done. It is what it is. It is what it is. But let's dive into Senjutsu Eddie. Let's dive into the heads here. 2 heads with this one, and as they say, 2 heads are better than 1, as we do know. Now, the helmet is removable. I was not aware of that, so the helmet should fit on both heads, I would imagine. And that is the case. So it really comes down to how do you like your Eddie, but I love this helmet here. Looks like Bushido from the old G.I. Joe days. Shout out to the Joe team, of course. Got blood on the helmet, spikes on the helmet. This is an Eddie that's seen combat a time or two. Back in the olden times, I guess. But we get 2 heads for Eddie. Definitely a different look to Eddie with those big old horns out the side of the head, and then you got the ears going on there. You got some really messed up teeth. He is from England, playing all the stereotypes, I guess. I know you England guys got better teeth than they say, but that's always the stereotype. You guys gotta hate that. You gotta hate those stereotypes. But I'm sure over in England, they got all kinds of stereotypes about people in America, things like that too. So it goes both ways, I'm sure it does. We got some crazy teeth here, but really the difference between the two, do you want the crazy mad face with the big open mouth, or the little bit more stoic with the closed face? You know, for me, I always want to go crazy. I'm going to put this one probably on as what I'll do there. But both head sculpts looking interesting. Gray skin tone color, got the red, almost looks really like blood drenched all over his face, and I guess that's probably what it's supposed to be. Combat veteran right here. But now diving into the figure itself, he does got the samurai armor. You got the shoulder protection there. You got the arm protection as well. Always looks like roofing tiles to me. Got a little bit of wrappings on the wrist. You got a little wrist protector over on this side here. You got the big old catcher's kind of protector over the top, and it does seem to be Terry Steinbach issued. I don't see many of these. They've long out of print. I think they went out of print in 1992, but Terry Steinbach, maybe he got this at a garage sale. Not sure exactly where he got it. We got the old chest protector there. Got some spray paint on it. We talked about the sheath here on the side. And I guess, where would this go? So it's got a little plug there. There's no plug on the back. Oh, right there. There's a little hoop right there in the belt, so I would imagine this slides in. Oh, you just slide it in, a little of that in and out game going on. But you put that right there ready to go as well. So I guess you have him displayed without a blade. You can have him kind of looking like they're in there. I guess. I don't know. You figure it out, let me know. You got the ring skirt, or just the skirt, I guess. The skirt's around the side here, the little added protection, little protection there. He does, once again, keeping it on brand. Terry Steinbach shin guards over here looking very nice. Down to the ninja-sized toes and shoes on this, with the 2 kind of toe things showing. Looking very good there. Of course, articulation. Let's see what we can do about the articulation. Arm goes all the way around. Single jointed elbow. A little side to side, hands removable back and forth, side to side, head back and forth, side to side. A little waist action there. Of course, the legs. Oh yeah, got some leg movement, but you are blocked by the the skirt on this one here. Same thing on the front, blocked by the skirt. You got a very bony skin underneath. Skin? How about just bones underneath? Of course, playing that Eddie game. Single jointed knees, side to side. Ankles back and forth, side to side. You got a hole in the foot, so you might fit on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle. Save 10%. Oh my gosh, his hole's tight, but it can be done. It can be done, and we're going to put that helmet on him. And we're going to be off to the old Iron Maiden Tour races here. So a fun figure for what it is. I don't know if I would be so happy about this figure or like this figure as much if it wasn't Iron Maiden related. If it was just a random figure, I'd be like, it's a cool figure, but I don't know if I need that in my collection is what I would say. Now, one thing is this album just came out. I want to say it was end of 2023. Maybe it was... I think it was 2023. I'm pretty sure it was 2023. So we haven't had time with this album. We're somewhere in time. This came out back in 1986. So that's a standard. It's a metal hallmark. It's truly deja vu. It's the loneliness of the long distance runner. It's truly somewhere in time. It is the somewhere in time Eddie. One of the most classic Eddies. I would have to think everybody's got different favorites, but I would have to think for most people, this is at least in your top 3 Eddie looks. I would have to imagine that is the case. A lot of people like the original stuff from the first 2 albums, Live After Death, Power Slave, Peace of Mind. There's a lot of good Eddies, and I would love to see NECA revisit a lot more Eddies in the future. Because we got a lot of them in the past, and we'll do some comparisons later on in this video. I didn't mention that earlier. But let's dive into the old Somewhere in Time Eddie. Kind of our second time around with this one. Like a young Step by Step is what that is. Like a young Patrick Duffy. That's what it is. So it's second time around right here. But we do got 2 big gripping hands going on here. So we got those. Got 2 big splayed out shaking hands out of the package. And then we get the trigger hands here. That's an important one for Eddie, of course. Especially this Eddie. Then we do got his big blaster. His big futuristic blaster. He's ready to go. He's ready to blast everybody. That's what he's ready to do. But a very scientific or sci-fi-like blaster on this one here. But now we're getting down to Eddie here, and we've seen some of this before, like I said, from NECA. One thing that always drove me crazy, and I get why it is, but I wish these ropes, strings, cables, cords, whatever you want to call them, that are sticking out of his sides, I wish they were removable because it looks so strange just like this. I get it, it's how it's supposed to be, but I just not a big fan how they just kind of dangle and hang there. Obviously, you just holster these bad boys off to the side, and that's what I'll probably end up doing, just holstering them. But looking very good. Very on brand, of course, though. Now we're diving into Eddie here, the classic Eddie head from Somewhere in Time. He's got kind of that like scope, kind of that microphone going on, the antennas. Very futuristic Eddie right here. Got that brown skin tone. Is it a skin tone? Skin, I guess we'll call it. We got that going on. You got the ribs there. This is an Eddie that works out. He's got the 6-pack, of course, as we know. Very stoic look on him, but a very classic look. Very skeleton-like on the back and the gold, looking beautiful as well. Talked about the holsters for the weapons. Got the nice crotch piece right here because you always got to protect your crotch, especially in space, let me tell you. And then you get down to the bare feet down here with some more wires and things. Once again, very futuristic looking. Dare I say he could be a stranger in a strange land is what he could be right here. But of course, arms all the way around on this one. Single jointed elbows. Oh my gosh, tight. Can you imagine if this broke right here? We can't have a Cliff Burton situation, can we? Oh my gosh, can you imagine? But very tight. You might want to heat those up a little bit. You can slowly inch them in. You can do that a little bit. But single jointed elbow. No, yeah, we get side to side there. Hands back and forth, side to side. How tight's this other arm? Oh, the other arm's a lot more easy moving. I don't know what is it about the right arm. We had the Cliff Burton disaster break. I got a replacement. It was still really bad. I had to get a knife and kind of carve the plastic out and heat it up. Then I unboxed the Lemmy Super 7 figure and I said, I know what the problem is here. And it had very similar issues. Now we got it here, and this is NECA. Those are Super 7. What's going on with right arms this day and age? I don't know. It's a dangerous game. That's what it is. You do get waist articulation. We also do get hula hoop up here. And Eddie's got kind of a weird curvature to his body there. Very strange. Leg does go up. Single jointed knee, smooth as butter on the knees, side to side as well. Ankles back and forth, up and down, side to side. So usual articulation here, a little smooth, but a little difficult in at least one position. Your mileage, guess what? It may vary. Will he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at ringside. Make sure you get your Mattel stands for these. Come on, Eddie, your hole's big enough. And it is big enough. Looking good, of course, is Somewhere in Time Eddie. And I did make reference that we've had these before from NECA. Gosh, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. What is time? What is time? I don't know. But I do got one right here. This one is very cool because it comes with like a whole background scene and stuff. So not quite all action figure. It's got articulation, but not as much as this one. But very cool to get Eddie a couple of times over the years. And then a lot of us, and maybe you did as well, had to get the big bad boy right here. Love this big Eddie. Of course, this is the big version. Back when NECA used to make big versions of a lot of different properties, they've really dialed that back outside of the Turtles, it feels like, the last few years. But a very cool one to have on the collection as well is the big Somewhere in Time Eddie. So one of the best Eddies of all time, Somewhere in Time, with maybe an up-and-coming Eddie. I just don't know if it'll ever be to the heights of Somewhere in Time. But come back 30 years and maybe we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know. But very cool, very fun for this heavy metal fan to get these Eddies here today. What are your guys' thoughts? You picking up any of these Eddies? Did you have any of these Eddies back in the day? Like I said, NECA did a lot of them, and I have them all in my collection. I think we've talked about them in years past here on the channel. But let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. And you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. And of course, there's content every single day. You guys know that. Check out my other channel out there. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. Like I said, there's a lot of videos going on. ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. And now on TikTok. So for Eddie ×2, I am Kyle. And I'll see you guys all real soon.